What's up, doll collectors, hobbyists, fabs, and besties? I'm Toya, an adult doll collector. Welcome to my Miniverse. We are in our new greenhouse that we made in a previous video, featuring this gorgeous doll. And I want to make a few changes. I love these mini plants I found at Michael's for 99 cents, but I wouldn't mind if the pots were a little smaller, like this size. The pots that come with Mini Brand's Create Garden capsules. They're not too far off from a glue stick cap. This is from a jumbo glue stick. What if we took a little paper? This is leftover from a previous project. I cut a strip, glue, and wrap it around the cap, paint it. I'm using a terracotta color, allow it to dry between coats. Then I'm just gonna tap it with the brush to add a little texture. To make a miniature pot using a recycled cap. On the inside, I only paint what I think will be visible. And of course, you don't have to cover them with paper. We can paint a few coats directly onto the cap for something really quick. And of course, you can paint it whatever color you want. If we don't have a bunch of caps, we can just use one to wrap the paper around. I used 2 strips of 11.5-inch paper. Carefully slide it up just a little. Add hot glue on the inside edge, then set it on a piece of paper. Give it a few seconds to cool, trim off the excess, paint it, or an easy paper pot. We can add a second layer of paper that's a little shorter to switch it up. Making pots out of paper is a great way to use up a few misprints and make minis for the dollhouse. I cut thin strips of felt, roll them, then glue it inside the pot. For the soil, remove the plant from the pot, trim if needed, then push it into the felt. We can glue them in place or allow the felt to hold them, giving us the option to switch out the plants. And now we can replace the pots that were just a little large for our shelves with something that fits a little easier. Of course, you can always just buy the artificial plants without the pots and glue them into caps for quick dollhouse plants. Or we can make a few out of paper. We used our spider plant tutorial to make this one from a previous video. Only this time I used a green cardstock. This is one of our older snake plants that we made in this video. Let's make a new quick plant. Since Valentine's Day is right around the corner, take a piece of green cardstock or paper, fold over the end, and make a crease. Cut half of a heart on the fold. To make a heart, take washable markers, color the edge, down the center, and maybe a few branches. Going out to the sides, add water so the colors begin to move and allow it to dry. Here's one I made earlier that's had time to dry. I use a thinner green marker to draw a few veins. I drew one going down the center, then a few branching off. Then fold it and bend it to give it a little shape. I brush it with a little Mod Podge, starting at the center and going out to the sides. The colors may bleed a little. After doing one side, let's do the other. Make several. I cut a rectangle of cardstock, then cut little stems, keeping them connected at one end. Color it if you like. Glue the leaves onto the ends. Roll the bottom so the underside of the leaf is facing out. Glue it into a pot. Fold the leaves over to make a mini that kind of looks like an elephant ear plant. Use the same method to cut smaller, rounder hearts. Sticking with our theme, I place another piece of cardstock underneath it, then use a dotting tool to draw little veins, going out to the side and making them nice and wiggly. To give them a little texture, brush them with Mod Podge and glue to paper just like before. Roll it, add felt, then place the plant in the pot. To make another plant, allowing us to switch up our greenhouse a little. But is it better to DIY or buy? Mini Brand's Create Garden or MGA's Miniverse Make It Mini Botanicals. Originally priced for about $50, I got it on sale for half off at $25. It says Flowers Farm Plants and has 60 plus pieces. However, I don't know I'll put all of them in the greenhouse. I mainly want the potted plants. However, the little jar works too. We can easily find Mini Brands Create for $7.30 a capsule, and we know that we're getting 2 minis inside. This is a surprise capsule, so we don't know which one we're going to get. We opened a few of these recently. What's that? I think it's the bonsai tree. This capsule was pretty heavy compared to some of the other capsules. I like how we can just snap some of the pieces in place, like puzzle pieces or Legos, and it stays. However, they do come with a UV glue if you choose to use it. We also get a green gardening tool and a snail. I think it's a little large, however, bonsai trees come in all different shapes and sizes. In the comments, some of you said the larger minis were a good size for smart dolls, but I think we can use it in the dollhouse as well. In the other bag, we get a smaller pot and some soil and a little plant we can put together. Now let's do the math. If we're paying $7.30 a capsule, we're paying $3.65 per mini, which definitely costs more than the 99-cent plants we were getting at Michael's, and more than our DIY plants. But they take a lot less time. But scale does vary, and doubles are a thing. We could have similar results with the Make It Mini capsules. However, these large sets take all the guesswork away. However, a suggested retail price of $50 sounds like a lot, which is why I waited for it to go on sale. It looks like we're getting about 12 different plants. At my sale price of $25, that comes out to be about $2.08 per plant, but about $4 each without the sale. But everything looks perfectly sized for the dollhouse. And that's a pretty nice paint job there. We get fun little extras like the plants being wrapped in paper, so we can easily make it look like the dolls are working in a flower shop. These come with resin. However, I just place them in the vases or vases, giving me the option of rearranging them later. And we can take a few leftover pieces of foam board, cut a few rectangles, cover them with paper, glue them together like we did when we made the benches, cut and cover a piece of foam board for a base, then glue it on top, making sure there is more space on one side so the dolls can stand on it and lean against the top for a small work table that functions as a doll stand. So we can put together all of the included flowers. We get 5 bags of potting mix or pebbles, little planters, we got 4 of those, and a little tool that is painted. The ones from Mini Brands are solid green. We can scoop out the mix, which is like kinetic sand, add it to the pot. I put pretty much the whole bag in there. Then we can add the plant, and it's good to go. Using the sand to plant the minis is kind of fun. I think it's more realistic, and the soil and rocks are more details that we can add to our space. I love this plant. There is so much detail on the leaves, and I like how it just hangs and adds more variety to the shelves. We get a few plants that we can hang. The string is included, strawberries and jars, carrots, a tray, more plants that we can pot, and a few succulents. And as we mentioned earlier, we can place the soil in our room as another detail. So there are a lot of options for the dolls when it comes to plants. We can find minis in the wild and modify them, where the cost will vary. We can make them out of paper, which can take a nice amount of time, but you can probably use items you might already have and cost almost nothing. We can go with Mini Brands, where the cost does go up, you don't know what you're going to get, and the scale varies, but they snap together and don't take a lot of time. We can go with Make It Mini, which has a lot of detail. They're a great size for the dollhouse, however, they can get a little pricey. If I had to rank them, I would put DIY as my number 1. Then Make It Mini because of all the detail, Mini Brands for ease at number 3, and finding fun finds in the wild at number 4, because you just don't know if you're going to find them. So for this DIY versus buy, let us know which one is your favorite in the comments down below. Thank you for joining us for another Versus. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Fanbase, Instagram, and YouTube at MyFroggyStuff and Bella of MyFroggyStuff on Instagram. And we will see you next time. Bye!